Soundscribe. Soundscribe.
What's up, We Booking fam? This is your host, Big Daddy C. Back at you with a recap show for all for the AEW Dynamite. So this week they were in St. Paul, Minnesota on Wednesday night. So kicking off the show, we had a match between Kenny Omega and Mr. Blake Christian. This was pretty much a squash match. Blake Christian was accompanied to the ring by Lee Johnson. Blake Christian had some moments here and there athletically. We had some nice maneuvers, but Kenny Omega he had fended off interference from Lee Johnson. He eventually finished off Blake Christian with a couple of with a V trigger and a one-winged angel. After that, we had a promo with Kenny Omega, who was basically addressing his opponents for the triple threat AEW International Championship. And so at AEW Dynasty, we got Ricochet and Speedball Bailey, who would interrupt Kenny Omega. Ricochet, who will be interrupting via satellite, as he was pretty much celebrating his wedding to Samantha Irving. Basically Ricochet was talking his shit, saying, hey, this is my most important day up until April 6th, where I'm going to be leaving AEW Dynasty with the AEW International Championship. Let's see here. But then eventually Kenny Omega, Bailey also was giving his props to Kenny Omega, saying, hey, I admire you, you inspire me, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not going to hesitate to kick your head off and win this championship. And so Kenny Omega, basically after the Ricochet video, Kenny Omega was like, hey, look, that's nice and all, but I'm retaining this championship. So good luck. Basically, in his promo, that was that. Next up, we had MJF's answer for the Hurt Syndicate. But before that, we had a backstage segment with Chris Jericho, who basically ordered Brian Keith and Big Bill to impress him, or else. Jericho also challenged Bandito to a mask versus title match at was it a Collision? No. He basically challenged him to a mask versus title match. Not sure if it'll be a Collision or at AEW Dynasty. We'll find out about that at a later time. So basically, Jericho is going to put his ROH Heavyweight Championship on the line. Back into the arena, we had MJF hitting the ring to answer MVP's invitation to join her syndicate. MJF is basically saying, hey, I'm not one to make friends, especially after the Adam Cole situation. But I am in the business of hurting people. Basically him and MVP were going to shake hands, only to be interrupted by Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, the AEW Tag Team Champions. Almighty would come face to face with MJF. Ordering him to hand over the business card that he got from MVP, which he would then tear up. MJF did leave the ring in time for Keith and Big Bill to interrupt and issue a challenge to the Hurt Syndicate for the championship, for the tag team championships. There's some back and forth verbal shots between the two, basically them two calling each other bitches and all this other shit. Eventually MVP told him, like, hey, why don't y'all win the match first, and then y'all can come see us about championship opportunity. So it looks like MVP was not on the same page with Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. They will have a segment later on in the show, basically them talk. It's like, dude, you gave us time off after our championship win, only to, like, now you want to invite Now you want to add MJF, you want to recruit him into the group. Like he's shady. He don't got his own hidden agendas. But MVP was like, look, man, look, I get what y'all saying. We've been trying to add a fourth member, but I like his quality. I like MJF's qualities, and I think it'll be beneficial to the Hurt Syndicate. So, but he's like, if y'all don't want him in the group, cool. We'll revisit that at a later time. But for right now, let's deal with this Big Bill situation, and we'll see what's gonna happen. So, I'm sure they'll be looking forward to the tag team bout between Top Flight and Big Bill and Brian Keith on Collision. That match will probably pay dividends, in regards to who will be the next number one contender for the championship, tag team championships. So next up, we would have. Let's see here. We have a match between Brody King and Kyle Fletcher. This match was one of the best matches on the card. Hard-hitting maneuvers between the two. This is first match for Kyle Fletcher since his epic encounter with Will Ospreay at Revolution. And so the physicality was evident throughout the whole match from the start, between these two. At one point, Fletcher hit a tombstone, but Brody King would not go away. Brody King, it was a moment he hit Death Valley driver on the ring apron. That was smooth. But there was some interference from the Mark Davis. And then he will pretty much pull Kyle Fletcher out of the way while Brody King was going for his corner cannonball. And so moments later, Kyle Fletcher would secure the victory with a brainbuster on the top turnbuckle. So this gave him some good momentum after his loss to Ospreay at Revolution. And so after the match, they would jump. They would damn, what is going on with me right now? They would jump Brody King only for Powerhouse Hobbs to make the save. Powerhouse Hobbs and Mark Davis was, going at it, and basically they had to bring out the security and the refs and all that. And so Christopher Daniels was also out there. So they's like, hell, let's get the match started. So these two had their match. Didn't last long. This is probably another squash match here. Tops finished them off with a spine buster. And that was that. Next up, we would have, let me see here. Next up, we have a pre-taped match. A pre-taped video with Tony Schiavone, who would sit down with Cope, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Hardwood, or known as Rated FTR. Hardwood blamed his walkout on his friends last week on setting aside. Pretty much said he set aside their FTR's goals to help Cope achieve his, only for Cope to fail for twice, pretty much. And so there's some back and forth between the three guys, but they eventually agreed, like, hey, let's set aside these differences. I think there's some left left with this group. Let's go after the AEW Trios Tag Team Championships and against the Death Riders and take these titles off of them, and then we'll see what's going to happen. So they'll be challenging the Death Riders for the AEW Trios Championships at Dynasty. And so next up, we had a backstage segment between Nick Wayne, basically taking a shot at Christian for his failed plan to win the AEW World Championship, and walked off with Mother Wayne, leaving Kip Sabian to absorb his words. Renee Young attempted to get a word with Hangman Adam Page after he declared for the win for the men's Owen Hart tournament, but Swerve Strickland would interrupt him and make threats. Said, "Hey, look, I'm ready to renew this rivalry if you come after me for this AEW championship after I beat Moxley at Dynasty." So I'm all for it. Let's get the rivalry back, man, because them two had one hell of a rivalry last year, and I definitely would love to see it kick back off. So we'll see what happens with that. This next up, Swerve Strickland did have Did have his match. Give me just a moment here. Okay, got it. All right. Next up, we had we had the promo Swerve Strickland called out Jon Moxley after the attack, I believe last week. And so he said, "Hey, if you man enough to come out here by yourself, please do. Like, we'll see what's gonna happen. Leave your Death Riders backstage." So to Moxley's credit, he came out there by himself. Doing his little stroll walk or whatever. He come out there. They trading shit back. They trading bars back and forth. Damn, what is he gave Swerve some props. So hey, look, man, people when I look at you is superstars like you that make me, you know, that pretty much make me realize that this wasn't like all the hard work I put in wasn't in vain. So there was a little respect there, but still, nevertheless, there was some, you know, some disrespectful barbs traded. um, But yeah, Claudio Castagnoli, snuck up behind Prince Nana, and Swerve looked at him like, and then Mox was like, chill, chill. We ain't gonna do nothing. We ain't gonna do nothing to your boy. Just chill out. We good. And then here comes Marina Shafir, with a little crowbar, look like she's about to do something. And who comes up? My girl Willow Nightingale with a steel pipe, like, bitch, I'm here. You ain't finna do shit around here. I'm here. I'm here. What you want to do? What you want to do? Okay. All right. So yeah. So she stopped that shit, and Swerve's like, look, I'm one step ahead of you, Mox. You ain't the smartest motherfucker in this ring, bro. I'm here. And so Moxley, he leaves the ring. Him and Claudio Castagnoli and Marina Shafir, they walk off and shit. Man, and Marina Shafir, she talking shit, all angry. And she looks back at Willow Nightingale, who's standing on a ring apron. She goes over there, pulls Willow down, and then they start brawling and shit. And then Claudio pulls her away. Pierce Nana pulls Willow Nightingale away. And I was that like Willow's like, hell no, fuck that bitch. I'm going back. And so she kept going back, just throwing shots, man. Like like Marina Shafir is literally being held back by by Claudio Castagnoli. And Willow is just like, bitch. And like just throwing shots, like even though she ain't connected, she just like she wanted all the smoke with Marina, bro. Like that's what I love about Willow Nightingale, bro. She is with the shits. She is with the shits. Now I love it about her, man. I love it. I love it. So yeah, next up we had a let's see here. We had a match between Top Flight and Alex Finley and Devo Knight. Basically, this was a match that was building momentum to Top Flight's match this Saturday night on Collision against Big Bill and Brian Keith, where a shot at the tag titles may await the victor. So yeah, it was a nice little solid match between these two. They're hometown guys over there in Minnesota. So the crowd was definitely into it, giving them their props and all the pop that they can get. So yeah, Top Flight made quick work of Alex Finley and Devo Knight. Next up, we had a match between Ring of Honor, former Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe and former AEW International Champion Takeshita. This is a hard fought battle, which saw Takeshita on the defensive late, which he will eventually come back and deliver the Raging Fire for the pinfall victory. Briscoe had some moments there where it looked like he might have had a shocking win against that man. But no, this is a good competitive match. And Takeshita allowed him to pick up another quality victory. This is over a trusted and respected opponent. And he's looking back. He's looking to bounce back from his Revolution loss against Kenny Omega. We'll see if he can get back at Kenny after this Triple Threat Championship match. I do believe Kenny Omega is going to retain, and so we'll see what happens there. Next up, we had our main event. We had Timeless Tony Storm and Timeless Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa versus Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne. Tony Storm, Megan Bayne, Penelope Ford. You nice too. Don't get me wrong. Oh man. Anyway, got lost in the sauce there for a moment, but I'm back. I'm back. Um, yeah, this was nice. This was a solid main event match. Um, nice little back and forth. Some good reversals. Um, Megan Bayne, man, she's just like, and I'm talking strictly in ring ability, man. She next up, bro. I think she has the potential to be the big time, the top woman in AEW. We had some previous powerhouses, in the past. You had the Jade Cargill, who had the 50 win undefeated streak, or I think it was 50 some wins, yeah. And so now I feel like Megan Bayne is that next person up who can really be dominant and take over and carry the women's division. So yeah, she Megan Bayne held her own in this match. She took a couple of, I think she took a DDT, spinning DDT by Tony Storm. Had some moments where it looked like she was going to be down for the count, but she it seemed like everything Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa could throw at her, she just kept getting back up like it was nothing. Like, hey, this the best you can do? This all you got? Come on now. Come on now. What's up? What's up? So yeah, man. She eventually finished off Tony Storm with the see, what is the name of her move? I don't know the name of her move. I gotta look up the name of her move, but yeah, it's basically her version of the F5. So she finished off with that, which is a good quality win. You pin the champion, even if it's an tag team championship match. You pin the champion, and this is ahead of your championship match against her at AEW Dynasty for the AEW Women's Championship. So that was a big time win. So that was our main event there. And that was the show. So this was a great action packed show. A lot of great moments. I think we had maybe two squash matches, I guess. The other matches are pretty solid, so AEW starting to, I feel like they're improving with that. I mean, they've always put on good matches, but I think this one was a fairly solid show from top to bottom. I feel like all of the squash matches were like in the right order of the card for tonight. So and all of the promos made sense, everything aligned well. And so I'm interested to see what happens in the coming weeks leading up to AEW Dynasty with all of these storylines. And so that is your AEW. This is your All Elite recap for today. Thanks for all who's going to be tuning in once this gets uploaded to YouTube. Continue to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast, and we're on all social media platforms. We're on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So just continue to support us, y'all. I appreciate all that have been supporting. And so we will catch you guys tomorrow for the SmackDown recap show. And so I am your host, Big Daddy C, signing out. Catch you guys later. Peace.